What's going on, Deep Dive Spear crew? Working on the 1973 222 Aquasport again. I've got the Kusa in the Transom, and I'm about to take these clamp boards off for the big reveal. It's been sitting here for about a week, curing out, and here we go. So these lags, the threads actually stop out here past the board, and so I'm going to tap them backwards so the threads will catch. The negative part about using lags that have a thread on about a quarter of the hole apart. You can see what I mean. No threads right here and just threads on the end, last quarter or so. So I cut into the bow the other day and took this core out. You can see where I cut it out, and I saved the top piece of the bow because I'll reuse that, and that's what I'm working on right here. Taking all this piece of this ply and grinding it down back to fresh plywood, back down to fresh fiberglass. This is the top, and I'll sand all that down again and be able to use that piece to put back on the bow and just tab it back on and fill the seam. That'll save me a lot of work and a lot of fiberglass. Up a little acetone here, get all this dust off of it. I'm going to put a layer of chalk strand on it. To help kind of fill some of these holes, and also I ground down even more around these holes I got to fill, so I'll put a couple layers right there. Maybe a layer of biaxial on there also before I finish everything up on this side, on the bottom side. So I took a scrap bucket of chop strand, and I took the edges of it and tore it off to make these little strings, spindlies, and I'm laying it over where all of the through cleats were. So I'm just going to start building this up. I want to put a layer here, maybe a second layer specifically on these little divots that I ground out. And then I'll lay a whole thing of chop strand on this right here. So I'm kind of doing the edges first. Not kind of, I am doing the edges first. Lay these wisps down. Chop strand takes a lot of resin. I mixed up a 1/4 cup, which is probably not near enough to do this, but Let's start with it. I can always mix some more. So my goal is try not to push the chop strand down into the hole. Just want to make a surface right here, and I can feel it from the other side at some point. I do want to get it wet out enough that it will cure out, and see the hole right there. Try not to push it down into the hole too much. I want to push this chop strand down in those. So I'm doing this at the same time that I got my deer sausage smoking in my smoker. No sense in wasting barn time. Certainly don't have time due to work and family commitments to waste any barn time. Have multiple things going on at once. Leave the edges down. And come back and put some in the middle. Let that soak up, and then I'll come back and do it again. Like I said, I ground out some low spots around these holes where I'll put some more, build up a few layers of this. Since this hole is so large, I'm going to add some more in here. This time I'm going to just lay this flat over it in that divot. Well, it's the next day, and I came in and flipped this bow piece over and put some chop strand on over the holes, and also took a piece of biaxial and filled the big hole. And this is pretty much where this part's going to stay for a while. Let's take a look at it. Once I get a piece of 1708 and lay over top of it and then gel coated, you won't be able to see those holes anymore. So the next step I'm probably going to take, as far as big picture goes, is come back to the transom. I need to create some fillets, some rollovers right here in this corner. I need to round that over, fill these edges right here with some thickened poly, and that way I can start my lamination schedule of 6 to 7 pieces of fiberglass over the back of the transom. Then I'll go to start taking my stringers and start building those back and tying them back into the transom. And stay with us.